What is going on, everybody? So today we're going to talk about reprints because a lot of people have been asking me about this, especially when referring to PRB01 potentially getting a reprint, OP09 potentially getting a reprint, even sets like OP07 and OP10 Royal Blood. I know we're getting another wave of that. I don't really know if it's a reprint, but people are curious what they should do when a reprint comes or when they should buy in. A lot of people are interested in investing in OP09. It makes sense. The set is super deep. Gold Roger, Manga Luffy. We can look at all the cards here, right? Like lots of manga cards in there, the 5 of them. You have Nami, Boa Hancock, super deep. So it makes sense why people want to invest in OP09. And I'll say this, reprints really don't concern me that much. Now, when they come, you kind of just have to roll with the punches, right? And it kind of looks like we might potentially be getting a reprint or there's more supply hitting the market. We're obviously going to find out over the next couple weeks in the spreadsheet. If you guys are in there, every week I update my eBay market spreadsheet looking at how much supply is on the secondary market, how fast it's selling. So we'll see. But right now, I mean, TCG Player, you're up to around $200. We're now sitting around $185 with recent sales from today as low as $174. And I think there were a couple sales even like the high 160s, yeah, like $169.98, $170. So reprint might be here. This might be people offloading boxes in anticipation of a reprint coming. But if you are an investor, if a reprint comes, just buy more product. And I know that might seem like a very obvious thing to do, but you got to think about it like you would the stock market. If the S&P 500 corrects 10, 15%, whatever's going on, interest rates go up, maybe there's some new president in office that people don't like for whatever reason. They're worried that the world's going to blow up and the stock market goes down 15, 20%. You just buy more, right? You just continue to buy more stock. At that point, you're not selling. You're not going to sell your shares of VFV or VOO or whatever else you're invested in. You're probably just going to buy more. And I think it's the same thing with reprints when they come, except when reprints come, right? When you look at a set like OP09 or you look at a set like Evolving Skies in Pokemon or Prismatic, the set's not changing, right? Like nothing is changing in terms of how the public perceives the set. Nothing's changing how good the cards are inside of the set. Unlike with the stock market, there could be factors globally going on that is going to affect things in the short term. When a reprint comes, it's just more supply hitting the market that eventually will need to be chewed through before those boxes come back up in price. And this presents a very good buying opportunity for you guys to come buy boxes for cheaper than you normally could have, maybe a couple weeks before the reprint came. And it doesn't mean that these boxes are going to just jump back up overnight. They could continue to fall. When we saw a lot of One Piece sets get reprinted last year, obviously not OP09, PRB01. I mean, this was kind of like pre-release there. But when you look at Wings of the Captain or Paramount War, Pillars of Strength, it took a while for those boxes to recover. And depending on how strong of a set the reprinted set is, or depending on how many boxes hit the market, that's going to affect how long it will take for the box to recover. Also, I just wanted to jump in here and say 73.2% of you guys watching the channel in the last 28 days aren't subscribed. So if you're getting some value, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. That's all I'm going to say there. The final thing I want to touch on in regards to the reprints, this is going to be a fairly short video today, is that when a set releases, you should go into it with the expectation of putting more money in later. And what I mean by that is whenever a set comes out now, whether it's in Pokemon or One Piece, and I want to invest in it, I'm going to buy a case up front or a box up front, whatever it's going to be, with the intention that if a reprint comes, I will buy more. And I'm doing that right now with Prismatic Evolutions, if you guys follow the Pokemon market. And I'll probably do the same thing with EBO2 if it gets a reprint. OP09, if we get cheaper prices here in Canada, most stores are still at like 250, 260 Canadian, maybe a couple are lower around 240, but it's still very pricey. I think I bought my boxes around 205, 200 Canadian, maybe even a little cheaper, all in after tax. So if I can get boxes below what I initially bought them for, then sure, I'll continue to add to my position. So that is all I would recommend. And just one other thing too, if you live in other parts of the world, don't stress about this too much, right? Like if you see a reprint in North America or we're getting another wave of product, it doesn't necessarily mean that you guys in that part of the world are going to get the same product. Because there are different distributors worldwide for One Piece. It's not the same company for every part of the globe, every continent. So that's just another thing to consider. The last thing I want to do in this video is just look at some of these cards and their prices. The manga Luffy from PRB01, this is the reprinted card if I can pull this up here. A lot of these manga cards are continuing to rise. You can see here 1300, getting closer to 1400. Most recent sale, however, 1731. We haven't seen a recent sale on a lot of these, but if you go look at manga cards in general, a lot of them are trending up. Same thing with these Gold Dawn cards from PRB01. A lot of these cards are continuing to climb as well. When we look at Emperors in the New World, and someone asked me this about the Gold Roger, I actually do think the Luffy from OP05, the Gear 5 Luffy manga card in that set, probably will overtake this Roger eventually, especially if OP09 gets a reprint. Which I imagine if it hasn't already, we are going to be getting a reprint of 09 at some point. I just think that that card is kind of like the Charizard of One Piece. It's a great card. We've seen in the auctions over the past couple weeks, black labels are going, well, the PRB black label went for like $7,800 or it was over $7,000. Can't remember exactly how much it was, but it was very expensive. So if you are a collector and you're thinking about picking up some of these cards, maybe I should touch on this a little bit too. If you think a set is going to get reprinted, probably best to hold off, right? Because as more packs get opened, eventually there are more cards on the market. And if supply is not chewed through by an increase in demand, you're probably going to see cheaper prices on a lot of those cards as there's more out there. So I always recommend waiting to pick up cards unless you really, really want them. You see a decent deal, then sure, feel free to pick it up. But if you are trying to get some of these mangas from 09, I would probably wait for a reprint to come. Same thing with like EBO2. A lot of these cards are very expensive still. A lot of these leader cards. I think the Vegapunk will be expensive probably in its entirety, especially if there's a reprint. It's going to get fixed, so those pre-erotic cards will have a premium on them. Same thing with this Luffy. I think this card will just genuinely stay expensive. Sure, it might come down a little bit after a reprint, but it's still a very strong manga card. But a lot of these leader cards that are $200-$300, $150 on some of them. I think a lot of these cards will continue to lose value if we get a reprint. It is EBO2, it's an extra booster. Maybe Bandai won't reprint it, and I'm just talking out of my, well, you guys get the picture. So that's all I'm going to talk about in this video. Thank you so much for watching. I know it's been a couple days since I've uploaded, but I've been busy doing some other things, and I'll try and get back to uploading probably every other day on this channel. Again, it kind of depends as well on the news cycle, what's going on. I want to make sure that I'm actually providing value in the content I make. But to sum up this video, if reprints come, just buy more. That's your TLDR. I might even put that in the pinned comment. There you go. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you are shopping, eBay, TCG Player, Hobbiesville, Cardboard Hero, I have affiliate links down below, free and easy to use, and it supports me to continue making these free videos for you guys. Also, you can get access to the spreadsheet at the top of the description, and if you want to book a consult call with me, there's links in there as well. Stay safe wherever you are in the world. I hope you're having a great weekend, and I'll catch you in the next one.